33 years after pushing his daughter down a stairway, dismembering her body, and burying it in his backyard, Dennis Bowman learned he will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars.
News 8's Joe LaFurgie also learning how this case came together after more than 3 decades.
DNA and other high-tech crime-fighting techniques helped solve this case. But it was a chance meeting between 2 detectives, one from Michigan, one from Virginia, that put investigators on the right path.
Behavior that's so disturbing.
As Dennis Bowman was sentenced, Kathy Turkanian, Andrea Bowman's birth mother, squeezed her husband's hand. For years, she'd fought to keep her daughter's cold case alive, and later to put Dennis Bowman behind bars.
All I wanted was to find my daughter alive. That's all I wanted. But this horrible truth just...
Do you have anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
No.
Dennis Bowman admitted to pushing his 14-year-old adopted daughter Andrea down a set of stairs at a home south of Holland. It was March of 1989. Andrea was in the process of running away from home after accusing her father of molesting her. He caught her before she could run. 33 years later, Bowman confessed to dismembering Andrea's body and burying portions of it in his backyard.
I don't think I've ever read anything this disturbing.
Bowman is already serving 2 life sentences plus 20 years for the 1980 murder of a woman in Virginia. At age 72, there's little chance Bowman would survive the recommended sentence in Michigan, life with a chance of parole in 15 years. But the judge says she wanted to make sure he stays behind bars, so she went over the guidelines, sentencing Bowman to between 35 and 50 years in prison.
That you would trap her body up with an axe and keep it close to you. I'm not sure what that means.
For over 3 decades, the case dogged cold case detective. They suspected Bowman, but just couldn't connect all the dots.
This team of professionals never gave up and continued to collect evidence over the past 33 years.
Then came a cold case detective conference in Virginia. Norfolk Police Detective John Smith, investigating the 1980 murder of a 25-year-old woman named Kathleen Doyle, had a DNA sample from the possible killer, but not a database match.
And he had received some leads as it relates to genetic genealogy. One of those leads was of a person here in Allegan County.
So Smith went looking for a Michigan detective. He found MSP detective Brian Fuller, who'd been working the Bowman case.
So we were able to take that profile that Michigan State Police had and compare that to our crime scene profile, and that's how we got our match.
This joint endeavor eventually culminated in the confession of Dennis Bowman for the death and dismemberment of Andrea.
Science and genealogy played a role, but so did old-fashioned police work.
And while we understand this does not lessen her loss to the world, hopefully it will allow her to now finally rest in peace. Every victim deserves to have a voice, to have justice. And through the dedication of the law enforcement team here today, we are thankful to have that in this case for Andrea.
Dennis Bowman now heads to Virginia, where he'll continue to serve his 2 life sentences for the crime that occurred in that state. In Allegan, Joe LaFurgie, News 8.